Hey guys, today let's talk about how do you get bookkeeping clients. So this topic is very important because without bookkeeping clients, you really can't grow a business. You know what I mean? It's like you're kind of just having a very expensive hobby, for lack of better words. Is really like what it is if you don't have any clients or any money. Right? And there's nothing wrong with having a hobby. Like if you just want to have make $100 a month, $200, $500 a month, just to kind of be in the game and have something that distracts you from your current job and just kind of gives you a little bit more energy and a little bit more excitement in life, that's great. But if this is something that you're trying to do that makes $7,000, $10,000, $12,000, whatever, however much money you need to kind of leave your job and do it full time, well then you have to approach it from the standpoint of how do I get clients very strategically. I talk to people all the time. I was talking to this guy in my new school group, right? And the guy was basically saying I'm finally looking to learn how to get more clients. Well, what's been the hardest part of getting clients? Well, I just lived off referrals, and it's it's cool and it's happening and you feel really valued and stuff, but it's 3 years, 6 years later, you're still in corporate America while you have a bunch of side clients, right? It's just not enough to really get them to go. So I'm going to kind of attack this from a slightly different perspective today, because the hardest part about getting bookkeeping clients is not actually finding the clients. See, this is the misconception most people have, because most people don't have a good pipeline of leads. So in other videos on this channel, we talk about how to build a lead pipeline so you have leads coming into you. If you don't know how to do that, I'd probably go watch one of those videos. In this video, we're going to talk about how to actually get them to commit to you when they're on the phone. Right? Because once you have, all you really need to get to 6 figures is 1 to 3 consultation calls per week for half the year. You only need 20 weeks of 1 to 3 consultation calls. Think about that. That's 60 consultation calls. If you have 60 consultation calls, I'm going to assume that if you're doing this on your own, your close rate is not going to be amazing. I'm going to assume that you're going to close probably 1 out of 5. So 60 divided by 5 is about 12 clients. Let's say your average client value is about $800, right, per month per client. That's about $9,600, right? That's 6 figures essentially, right? For us, for our students sign up between 45 to 75% of people they speak to on their consultation calls. So at 60 consultation calls, we'll just say 50% on average, right? So that's about 30 clients, right? So 30 times, we'll say for us, let's keep that same 800 number. That's $24,000 a year. Again, that's overkill. Most people just want to make it to $11,000, $12,000 per month. Some people want to get to more, and that's the math to do it. But in reality, again, you don't need that many. You do. Again, so if you get to 40 consultation calls, if you're good at sales, and this is why this video is important, because if you just get better at sales, you need a lot less leads to go reach your goals than someone who's not good at sales. So by learning how to get people to commit to you, which is an aspect and element of sales, you're going to be able to really cut down your front end workload to go and get clients, right? Because in reality, when you're first getting started, the first priority is to get clients. But once you have clients, once you have the business rolling, your next priority is to keep the clients, right? So do good client work to make sure they actually want to stay with you for a good amount of time. So the easiest way to get people to commit to you is really by understanding your consultation call. So in terms of the consultation call, number 1, you have to learn how to ask great questions. Now, asking great questions is important for 2 reasons, BJ. First is so you can get information that is needed for you to know how to actually take the consultation call. So let's say that they said that their CPA is not communicating with them. They haven't heard from their CPA in 6 months. They've been emailing, texting, calling, the CPA just hasn't responded. Okay, I'm going to tailor my presentation towards how good my communication is. I'm going to show examples of my communication. I'm going to share about how I like talking to people, and that's my main thing, right? So I only knew that because I listened to them and I asked the question about why are they looking for someone in the first place, and do they already have someone that's doing the accounting or doing the bookkeeping. So that's number 1, asking questions, right? Getting information to basically formulate and how you're going to really communicate your pitch. So I almost think about asking questions is almost like tweaking your dialect within a language. So let's say there's they speak Spanish, right? There's a lot of different dialects within Spanish. People from Spain might speak it different than people from Chile might speak it, than people from Puerto Rico, than from Dominican Republic, than from Mexico, right? So different dialects. So I have a base level language, which is my presentation of how I'm going to help them, right? I like to break down how I'm going to help them in 3 main steps. But within those 3 steps, my dialect is going to be picking out, okay, communication. Okay, timely results. Okay, you need your financial statements. You need to be able to have an understanding of your financial statements, right? Depending on like what they said earlier is important to them is how it's going to impact my dialect within that conversation, so that we're all on the same page and there is no like micro friction about me maybe not offering something that can help them out. The next reason why asking questions is so important is because part of learning how to handle an objection is how to ask a leading question that gets someone in the right frame of mind to view your service correctly. So a lot of times what's going to happen is that people will have a preconceived notion of accounting and bookkeeping that might not be true. So they might say stuff like, well, I don't know if I can get started with your accounting service yet because I feel like, to get on board and get started, I'm going to have to sit there with you for 6 hours. That's not necessarily true, right? You can handle the onboarding process. You can just like get everything going. To already have QuickBooks, right? And not a lot of time. So by being able to communicate that, right, it changes the person's perspective, right? So understanding first things first, if they say like it's going to take too much time, well, how much time do you feel it's going to take? They're going to tell you, well, I think it's 6 hours. Based on that, you can start going and like asking, well, why do you feel that? Did someone take 6 hours to do in the past? Yes, well, my past person has blah, 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 blah. Okay, so what have we done there? We have diffused the situation, so we're not like fighting against them, we're actually collaborating with them. Now we are starting to move them forward down the line to understand that maybe it doesn't have to take that long. Maybe it was just that person who you worked with that took a long time because maybe they just didn't know what they were doing, but I know what I'm doing, so I can do a lot faster. Right? And it kind of gets them in the habit of you asking a question that's challenging, but you're doing it in a way that's very respectful. So now they feel good about being objection handled. You're not argumentatively objection handling them. You're collaboratively objection handling, right? And that's something we teach inside of our program. It's very subtle, and it does take a little bit of like, it doesn't necessarily take practice per se. It more takes understanding like what you're trying to do, and then once you can do it, then you can start like practicing inside of either your daily life or just start practicing outside of your consultation call. So it becomes more natural when you're actually sitting in front of a person. Cool. A good example is actually our student named Joanne. So when Joanne started, she was having trouble because she had a lot of clients that were like paying like $100 a month, right? She just didn't really, and it wasn't that they were small, that they couldn't afford to pay. It was just that it was hard for her to kind of hold her ground whenever they would start kind of crying poverty, for lack of better words, right? Sometimes people cry poverty. They'll be making $1 million a year, but I don't have the money to pay for your service. Not that they can't, they just don't want to. Right? So, but if you take it too literally and you don't have a way to challenge what they mean, understand what they mean, you're going to think, oh, they have no money, they can't pay me, let me reduce my price so I can get them as a client. Okay? There's two things. Number one, it's not just about getting more clients. Like, we're not in the game of getting more clients, we're in the game of making more money and helping more people out, right? Because if you make enough money, you could help people for free if you really wanted to, right? But in the beginning, we have to kind of build our income enough so we can leave our job and make this full time. Then we can start having initiatives for people that, we want to help out people in the future. Okay? I know it's different. Like, Bryce, that sounds so selfish. Like, well, kind of. If you ever go on an airplane, right? Every airplane, they have like the people like this, with the diagram, like with the mask. They're like, you got to put on your own mask first before you can go put on someone else's, right? So it's the same thing here. I gotta get my life in order first, in order so I can start helping other people. I gotta be a little bit selfish in the beginning, so I can be selfless forever, right? I mean, think about it. How do you think I can make these YouTube videos and not care if someone like works with me or not? It's because I have enough money to where it's like, okay, it doesn't matter. So I don't mind if I like give someone a piece of information, maybe they add an extra $3,000, $6,000, whatever grand per month to their business, and then maybe they don't work for me. It doesn't really matter that much, right? Because now I can help people out, in this more kind of widespread manner. So that is number one. So I think my camera is going to die soon, unfortunately, but it's okay. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah, my camera might die soon. How long have we been doing this video? About 10 minutes? Okay, so since my camera's gonna die, let's end this video. I'm probably gonna do a part 2 of this video about how to get people to commit to you a little bit more, but that's number one, is asking good questions so you can understand where they're coming from, use it to really change your dialect and your pitch, and then be able to start objection handling. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about this, you want to be able to go take this further, like maybe it's just a preview and you want some help going and learning how to actually do this stuff so you can get people to sign up with you more frequently, go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, to book a call with myself to see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program, okay? I will talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day. Take it easy. Talk to you soon.